This is Nasha Kasha, a Ukrainian almanac, 28 minutes of stories for everyone about Ukrainian life. I'm your reporter, Stefan Andrusyak, and this is episode 291. As we traverse the week between Christmas and the year 2022, Christos рождається, славім Його. Christ is born. Let us glorify Him. This week's program comes from Winnipeg, and here is that city's Husli Men's Choir with the Christmas carol, Wondrous News. I think back to Winnipeg this Christmas. Larissa and I traveled there last fall with the intention of recording stories for this program, and we stayed with my cousin, Mary Paulus, her generosity reminding us that we are family. I had pre-planned most of the interviews I would record, but Baba's house was a surprise. Baba in many Slavic languages means grandmother, but as you will hear, it is a youthful, joy-filled voice that answers the key question in today's program, which is, what do we make when life puts rocks in our way? Why? Rocky Road ice cream, of course. It's a modest storefront in North End, Winnipeg. Children around an ice cream counter, and the woman behind it has a story to tell.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Modestia Ermintrot, and my husband and I own Baba's House Ice Cream and Desserts here at the corner of Bannerman and McGregor in beautiful Winnipeg, Manitoba.
And you're a Dobrodika?
I am. My father is a priest, and my husband is a priest.
Can you explain that, the role of a Dobrodika? Because it means, literally in English, it translates as the doer of good.
Well, I try. Tata has been a priest with the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Canada for over 65 years now. I got married, and then my husband decided he had the calling as well, and so he's been a priest for over 26 years now.
From Golden Harvest, a musical celebration of Ukrainian Canadiana, this is Jay Kuczynski with Borscht and Bluegrass.
I was born here in Manitoba in the hospital at Shoal Lake. Mom and Tato's first parish, which was at Oakburn. Then after a few years, we moved to Saskatchewan, moved to Hafford, and then to Alberta, to Smoky Lake, then to British Columbia, Vernon, then back to Saskatchewan, and then that's where I met my husband in Regina, and then we started our second travels.
Пісня зачала, я дивлюся на тебе, ангел у білім зібрана. Дай ми ручку, доню моя, потанцюємо разом на твій весільний день. Дай ми ручку, доню моя, потанцюємо разом на твій весільний день. Але як скоро цей часок минає, рік за роком лете. Ти була маленька моя, може мала ж 2 рочки, я на руках носив. Ти була маленька моя, може мала ж 2 рочки, я на руках носив. Але ся крутять ті спомини про тебе, сльози в очах то веселі. Чи ти пам'ятаєш, доню, як на спацер ми ходили в неділю раненько? Чи ти пам'ятаєш, доню, як на спацер ми ходили в неділю раненько? З маленьких зернят ви виросли 2 цвіти, нове життя починаєте. Жити з Богом, діти мої, щастя я вам бажаю на ваш весільний день. Жити з Богом, діти мої, щастя я вам бажаю на ваш весільний день.
A father dances with his daughter on her wedding day, remembers, rejoices. Ron Kahut and Burya.
Now, the life of a priest is a life of service, and you go where you're sent.
That's exactly it.
Having experienced that as a child and a girl and then a young woman, I presume you're ready to do that again?
It's not, are you ready to do that again? You just keep doing it. It's a part of your life. You really don't know any different. You're just, I don't think it's something that you turn on and turn off, and it's just something you do. It's just a part of you.
Маю раз дівчиноньку, чепурненьку, любов шебетушечку, рум'яненьку. Гей, гей, ха, уха-ха, дівчино, рибчино молода. Посилав я старостів у неділю, думав, погуляємо на весіллі. Гей, гей, ха, уха-ха, дівчино, рибчино молода. Мали повернутися з рушниками, але повернулися з гарбузами. Гей, гей, ха, уха-ха, дівчино, рибчино молода. Гей, гей, ха, уха-ха, дівчино, рибчино молода.
The Kubasonics and the song Hey Hey Ha.
I might start to cry a little bit here. Mama's maiden name was Tikun. She passed away just a few months ago. So talking about her is a little difficult at the moment. Mama and Tato, they were the ones, Tato and Mama kind of instilled in us what Blaženej Pam'ять Vladeka Mitropoliti Larion said, Slujete Bohovi to slujete narodovi. To serve God is to serve the people. And Tato and Mama were ones that's what you did. You just helped out. You did what you could. So that's what we do, and that's what Otec and I have tried to instill in our children and now in our grandchildren. So that's what it's all about. If you're not helping other people, how are we going to get by in this world?
Do you have brothers, sisters?
I do. I have 3 younger brothers. Every stop along the way that I mentioned in Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC, I got another brother. So I have 3 younger brothers.
So as the oldest, did you rule?
I was outnumbered, but being the oldest, it does have his privileges.
And you mentioned you have children and grandchildren. What are your children's names?
Well, our oldest is Yakuv, then Daria, Leandra, and Alexa.
And where are they? What kind of things do they do?
Actually, we're very fortunate. They're all here in Winnipeg or close by. They all have families of their own. So, in fact, if you notice, I have my parfaits up top, and they're all named after my grandchildren.
This is Teresa Sekirka and a song about a mother's white blouse and the threads of learning she passed down.
Мені сорочка мама вишивала, неначе долю хрестиком вела, щоб я легких стежинок не шукала, і до людей привітною була. Вікону доню мама говорила, життя закони істини прості. Не зраджу землю, що тебе зростила, не залишай нікого.
Nasha Kasha comes to you from Radio Western 94.9 FM on the campus of Western University in London, Ontario, Canada. We're heard on CHMR 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland, on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, on Local 107.3 FM in St. John, New Brunswick, on CJAS Radio 93.5 FM in San Agustin, Quebec, on CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal, on CFRC 101.9 FM in Kingston, on CFMU 93.3 FM in Hamilton, on CKMS 102.7 FM in Kitchener-Waterloo, on CJAM 99.1 FM in Windsor and Detroit, on CKLU 96.7 FM in Sudbury, on CILU 102.7 FM in Thunder Bay, on 101.5 UMFM in Winnipeg, on CJTR 91.3 FM in Regina, on CFMQ 98.1 FM in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan, on CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops, on CJSF 90.1 FM in Vancouver, and on CHLY 101.7 FM in Nanaimo, British Columbia.
Which brings me to an ice cream shop. How did that come up? I mean, Dobrodikas are doers of good deeds, but you have added, and I make people happy.
Well, how much better can you get than in an ice cream shop? We had to move to Winnipeg for personal reasons. We weren't transferred to Winnipeg, and there weren't any parishes available at the time. And one has to pay the mortgage, put food on the table, et cetera, somehow. And so we thought, well, all right, we have to take some kind of secular work. And as it turned out, there was an ice cream shop that was for sale. And we thought, all right, we will see what we can do. And the rest is history.
Was it always called Baba's House?
The ice cream shop that we originally bought was not. It was in a little strip mall, and we started with that. And then we thought, oh, you have to sell an awful lot of ice cream cones to sell or to pay for the rent and all the overhead. And it was farther north, actually close to West St. Paul. And we looked to see if we could find something a little bit closer, because we live not too far from here, actually just north of the cathedral. And sure enough, we were very fortunate to find this location. And we had to change the name because when we bought the business, the name didn't come with it. And Baba's House, if you look, you notice it's a teapot with a little Baba, little birdie Baba in front. Well, my Baba had that exact teapot. And when we were trying to find what kind of a name would be appropriate for a little shop like this, my husband just looked, the kids looked, they saw Baba's teapot, because I have the actual teapot, and said, well, why don't we just call it Baba's Chata? And we thought, Baba's Chata, but we were worried about the mispronunciations that might come with that. And so we had to compromise, and Baba's House was born.
This is Vasil Popadyuk, the band Papa Duke, and a melody that asks the question, what are you doing the rest of your life?
What did you and your husband do prior to him having been ordained?
My husband actually was a manager for one of the major retail stores. It's no longer in business anymore. It's Zellers. He was a manager for Zellers for many, many years, and then circumstances, things happened in our personal life that he said, there's got to be more than just managing a store. And we were active in the church community, active in the Ukrainian community.
Did you work as well at the time?
With 4 children, only part-time.
You worked at home.
I worked at home, but I also worked outside of the home. we did a lot of volunteering within the community. I was very blessed to direct a lovely choir, Chor Zolotого Wieku, Golden Age choir. They were absolutely wonderful to work with, so that was my outlet. I also directed the church choir, so that keeps you busy. I also taught Ukrainian school.
So what did the conversation go like when your husband, I guess, he approached you and said, "So, what do you think?"
We would go for walks every night. And this one evening, we were going for a walk, and my husband looked at me and says, "Soresia, so what do you think if, I was to go into the priesthood?" My initial reaction, and I have not made I've not tried to hide my initial reaction. I looked at him and I literally said, "Ty що, з дубов пав?" Which means, did you just fall out of the oak tree? I looked at him, I says, "Have you not learned anything from looking at my life in a priest's family, at my father and mother and, all the traveling and all the things that it entails?" And he says, "But, I think it's something that we need to do." How are you going to fight that? So we packed up and moved. He was actually quite thrilled to find out that his grandparents on both sides actually were in German colonies in Ukraine and were both adopted by German families. So he said that's why learning Ukrainian was so easy for him. So it was, and he actually had planned before we were married, before we met, he was planning on going into the Catholic seminary. And then we met, and I showed him the light.
As a good future Dobrodika should.
That's right, as a good future Dobrodika. And so he learned Ukrainian when we would go visit my parents. And he learned Ukrainian, he learned the faith, and he says, "This is it. This is what I got to do."
The Dobrodika title very well.
It's not really a title, but thank you very much. I think we all try to help everyone, and especially in times like this, like you have to help each other, and we all somehow get through all of this.
A siren just went by as I was talking to you. Is this a tough neighborhood?
Everyone says the north end of Winnipeg is a really rough area. In fact, our oldest daughter, when we said we were going to open up a shop here, her reaction was, "Mama, in the hood?" And I said, "No." I says, it's what you make it. And this has been an absolutely wonderful neighborhood. Yes, the sirens go by, but if you notice, none are stopping here. They're just traveling through. But the people here are wonderful. It's a wonderful neighborhood.
What would you today, as someone who can give advice, having learned so much in life, offer yourself, if you could, a 20-year-old girl?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Be tolerant. Things will work out, as I have learned. And if we just have the compassion and the tolerance, you just have to be patient, and it will all work itself out. Maybe not exactly how you had envisioned it, but as my husband always says, God will not forsake you. It might go in a different direction, but it'll all work out.
If life gives you a rocky road, make ice cream.
You betcha. Make ice cream, you get lemons, make lemonade. Live your life, be good to others, and that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask.
These are the Mad Heads.
Hear the little song I wrote. Might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but try to worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed, but don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Be happy. The landlord says your rent is late, and he might have to leave the gate, but don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no girl to make you smile, but don't worry. Be happy. 'Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down, so don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Hear the little song I wrote, might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy.
As I announced last week, Nasha Kasha will be ending its 6-year run this coming February. Once this veteran completes his 300th episode, he'll be going on to another project, yet to be decided. Current, recent, and past episodes have been archived. Listen or re-listen as often as you like. They are free. Go to Nasha Kasha, one word, nashakasha.libsyn.com. These archives will remain in place throughout the summer of 2022. Partial funding for Nasha Kasha has been provided by the Shevchenko Foundation and by the Ukrainian Credit Union. I'm your reporter Stefan Andrusiak, back in a week, God willing. До милої зустрічі за тиждень часу, дорогі слухачі.
Be happy.